Hi, everyone. My name is Stacy Owen. I'm the Executive Director of Alumni Engagement for the School of Business. Joining me today is Sharon Vogler, the Director of Alumni Career Development for the School of Business. We are giving you a quick tutorial on the Wake Network and LinkedIn, two valuable resources for alumni that we think are underutilized. And we say that because Sharon and I live in these platforms all day, and we rely on them for lots of different information. We think if our alums knew how to use them effectively, that they would benefit greatly. Everything from how to do searches, knowing how to do these searches can help you make new connections, find the right alums to connect with, and ultimately grow your network. I'm going to start with the Wake Network, show you how to access it, give you examples of some searches, and then I'll turn things over to Sharon, who will teach you some great ways to search on LinkedIn. The first thing you'll do is go to wakenetwork.wfu.edu. If it's been a long time since you've been to this site or you've never been to this site, you are going to be prompted to log in with a Google email address. The first time you do so, they'll also ask for the last 4 digits of your Social Security number, and it is to verify that you are, they're trying to do a match, that you're legit in the university system, because the information you'll have access to is pretty significant. Anything that you see when you first log in, you're going to see your own information. So this is my information, my name, where I work, my employment information. I have a public profile, and this is where I have just said what other people can see when they search for me in the Wake Network. So if you don't want your cell number or your address to be visible to others, you have the chance to edit that. We're going to focus on searching the directory. There are 2 different ways you can search. You can do a simple search, which is the screen that you're seeing right now. Maybe I want to find a specific classmate who was in school with me. I can type their name. Or maybe I'm looking for alumni from a certain class year. Maybe I just want to do a search on alumni who work for a particular employer. But this is going to pull any Wake Forest constituent who matches whatever you type in. So if I'm looking for alums whose name are John, it's going to pull every Wake Forest alum, every Wake Forest faculty, staff, and current student, because all of those constituents are in the Wake Network. That's why we really recommend clicking on more so that you can do a more targeted search. A lot of times our alums are interested in using the Wake Network because maybe they're interviewing with a company, maybe they are planning to relocate to a city, and they are interested in School of Business alums who live in Dallas. And I'm going to do that search to show you what that looks like. So let's start. I'm going to enter in a city. Okay. And let's say that I am interested in any School of Business alum who lives in Dallas. So I can click on academic program, and I'm going to click all business. Now, if you scroll down, you're going to see that you can search any academic program at the university, but you can pick different MBA programs. You can pick our Master in Accounting, Masters in Management, Business Analytics. You can really fine tune what you're searching for. But I'm interested in all business who live in Dallas, and I could even add in an employer if I wanted to drill down even further. So once I've done that, I'm going to hit search. And it's thinking, but I'm going to scroll back to the top. And what appears will be any School of Business alum, no matter what program they graduated from on the graduate side or the undergraduate side, who live in Dallas. And you can see that there are a lot of people, actually. The Wake Network is not going to let you export a list. However, you can click on individual names that takes you to that person's information. And then maybe you have a phone number, maybe you have an email, and you decide to reach out to them directly to say, hey, I'm a fellow School of Business alum. I got your contact information on the Wake Network. I am considering a move to Dallas and would love to talk with you about your experience living there. Or if you've done a search by company, what's your experience been like working at PepsiCo, as an example? You'll notice that there are some shaded deacon hats. So you can see that the top two names right here, I have two hats shaded. That is telling me that there are things that I have in common with that person. So if you have a list of 100 people and you're trying to determine, wow, who should I reach out to first? Look at the shaded hats because you might have more, they might be a better connection for you than others. Sharon, did I leave anything out that you think would be helpful for
No,
them to know?
super helpful. No, super helpful.
Great, but again, the more that you the more that you enter in, the more targeted search that you'll have. The only other plug that I'll put in for the Wake Network is it's great to get very specific information. We really encourage our alums to update their information here. We know that a lot of times you're going to update your employment information on LinkedIn, but if you don't update it here, your searches aren't as effective. And so we talk to our students about doing that before they graduate. And that's why Sharon is going to talk to you about LinkedIn, because using LinkedIn in conjunction with the Wake Network is really powerful. Right, Sharon?
Great. Awesome. Thanks, Stacy. And so LinkedIn is really a non-negotiable when it comes to, expanding your network, nurturing your network, and learning really about all things in your specific industry or functional area. And so I'm going to show you the very best and quickest way to access the Wake Forest Network. And that is to come up to your search bar and just type in Wake Forest University. And you can see the first thing that comes up here is the Wake Forest University school profile page. So you want to select the school profile page. And once we get into the profile page, you can see that if you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see an option here to select alumni. So when you select alumni, LinkedIn has filtered this for us, and it's told us there are 53,309 alumni that have used Wake Forest University as their school or their employer. Now, it is very different when you go and search the Wake Forest School of Business. And so we'll talk about that in just a second. And so because of the way LinkedIn is using that as your school, you may find some differences between Wake Forest University and the School of Business or the School of Divinity, the School of Law, et cetera, et cetera. But very quickly, LinkedIn has told us that there's 53,309 alumni, and it's also done some great filtering for us. It tells us where they work and where they live, and it gives us the top 15 hits on both of those categories. It also tells us what they do, what they're skilled at, and what they studied. But really, we focus on where they live and where they work. And so if you were interested in a particular company, let's say you were interested in working for Amazon, you can see that there are 98 Wake Foresters that currently or have Amazon on their LinkedIn profile somewhere. And let's say you're really interested in learning more about what it takes to be a project manager at Amazon. And it's filtered this down even further. But when we scroll down, you can see that you can see those 9 alumni. You can see their profiles here, and you can easily connect with them. Now, we don't want you to when you're connecting with fellow alumni or connecting with people who you want in your network, you want to connect with them. You want to follow people like Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg, but you want to connect with people who you want in your network that you need to, ask for advice and learn things about their industry and their function with those employers. And so let's say we want to connect with Colby and learn more about his role as a FinOps manager at Amazon. We'll select connect, and you always want to get into the habit of adding a note. And so we have created a sample outreach connection request for you. And so you only get 200 characters if you don't have the premium subscription to LinkedIn. And so these are just 3 very quick, easy sentences. It tells the person that you're connecting with why how you're connected, what you want to learn from them, and there's a very quick call to action. It's not too detailed and it's direct and to the point. So this would be a good place to pause this video, take a screenshot, or write down the sample connection outreach message. And so once you're connected with Colby, you can send him a direct message and expand on some of the dialogue that you have with Colby. And so, like I mentioned earlier, you have to do separate searches on the different schools. Wake Forest University School of Business has different people in it, and it has it's a long story as to why, but unfortunately, you've got to go back in and search both of these if you're looking for people in a particular firm or in a particular location. Okay, and so you can see Amazon, we have 32 people who used this Wake Forest School of Business as their education who work at Amazon. And you need to do the same thing for the School of Law, Business, Divinity, Medical School, et cetera, et cetera. We also want you to join some groups, and these private groups are another way that we can send targeted messages about events and resources. And so the 3 groups that we suggest that you join are Wake Forest alumni. And you can see this is Wake Forest alumni group. Once you select this group, you can see that there are 22,000 members, and our friends over in the university in the alumni career development office, they manage this group, and they'll vet you just a little bit to make sure that you should be a part of this this private group. And again, all kinds of resources, jobs, events, real targeted stuff. The second group we think you should be a part of is the Wake Forest School of Business group. Stacy and Carrie are managers of this group, and it's also real targeted information about just the School of Business. We've got programs, resources, jobs, events, all kinds of things that we promote in that group. And then finally, we use the Wake Forest, Wake Forest Career Connectors. This is university wide. It's not just for the School of Business, but we use Wake Forest Career Connectors, really hyper focused on just promoting experience level jobs in this private group. I manage this group myself, and Stacy and I are in it all day long promoting jobs that we think our alumni should have access to. And so super helpful there to be a part of the Wake Forest University Career Connectors. We also really encourage members of this group to promote jobs with the firms that they are working at, or even see on LinkedIn that you think other Wake Foresters would be interested in. And so That's my LinkedIn. Very best way to navigate the Wake Forest network in LinkedIn. And so we want you to connect with us on LinkedIn. I've made it really easy for you to just take a quick shot of those QR codes. It takes you directly to our LinkedIn profiles. We invite you to connect with us, add a note, and let us know if you thought that this was a helpful session for you to look to view. And then lastly, we've got a free downloadable guide that are just a quick visual of all the things that Stacy and I just went over.
Great. Thanks so much, Sharon. And I just wanted to add one more thing. When you find people on LinkedIn and you send them a message to connect with them and you don't hear from them, that's when you can go to the Wake Network, find them, and then send them a direct email. Sometimes that two-step approach can make a difference. Not everybody is as active on LinkedIn as maybe you are, which is where the Wake Network can be so beneficial. Thanks so much for your attention. We are here for you. Let us know if there is anything else we can do to help you.